The Nerlin Nerds podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Nerlin Nerds with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the pop culture topics that interest us and those minor details that irritate us. And what I've always loved about it is, even as fantastical as it is, like I do think, anybody who's worked at least in an office.
Yeah.
But all these like sub worlds.
I mean, literally, like me. I'm
and not
two
like
separate people.
Right, but even in that, like you have, like there's, and how, but I think what the show highlights is, imagine if you could exist with your work mentality outside of work. Right. And how you might perceive things to be different. So with like the you are, like any mark is like, this is like, it's like attending a Tony Robbins conference.
That's Rickon is him.
Right.
Yeah.
But, Audi Mark is like, oh, here this fucking guy goes again. Jesus.
God damn, I gotta go to dinner again. Shit. Yeah. I'm gonna fuck up this date now. Yeah, that's him. He's just like...
But it's just, it's a very interesting, and I'm sure I'd have to check and see if my buddy who was a philosophy major has any input on it. But like, I mean, there's all these different implications of it, like I mean, again, they do get to, it's like, which is the true self? Is it the innie or is the outie?
Right. But
so they present it in a very nice, lighthearted.
I wouldn't say lighthearted.
It does take a dark turn, but it's still
right. I mean, it's your outside,
like when Cobell drives off after she was handed the baby.
Right.
Right, and it's this like really tense moment, but the friend who was there at the
I found her. I was the one who found him first.
It was me first.
It was me first. Yeah. Like
the guy who thought it was very gauche to call World War I back in the
this fucking guy. All right, now I'm gonna get into some crazy shit. So now Mark knows his wife is alive.
Correct.
Right? A. B.
Or some version of her is alive. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay, so to piggyback off that,
which that opens up a whole bunch of questions.
Correct. Because now it's like, okay, his wife died. He couldn't deal as a fucking professor, by the way. How great is that? He couldn't deal, so he...
She was, too. Remember, she was a Russian literature professor.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Oh, well done.
Yeah.
So then he voluntarily goes under,
Right, but now, how voluntarily is that?
Exactly. And is she in on the joke?
No,
and then where is she?
Why fake her death?
Right. Yeah. Why fake her death if she has an innie? But then you keep the innie?
Well, so this goes back to that Reddit theory that I liked, which is like that's part of the test. Can the outies recognize the innie? So if you put like the Egan personalities in their innies,
right?
Are their outies going to recognize?
Wait a minute, what do I do for 8 hours a day?
Yeah.
Other than I'm just going to work?
Or even like, I know this person from somewhere. Where do I know them from? And like, and then eventually piece it together.
Like the final season of Lost when Desmond woke everybody up.
Yeah. And Charlie.
Oh yeah, and Charlie. Forgot about Charlie. So, where is she? Is she getting recycled? What the fuck's going on with her?
That I don't know. Like I mean, we know so little about. Like that's like the real like brain buster to me is like, was she in on it before?
Right.
Or did they just pick somebody who was like near death and bring them back?
And then why her and why Mark S?
Right. Well, just because I mean, these are people who would have a strong connection as outies. So you put them as innies
to see if they recognize.
Right, and there's that scene where it's Milchick and Cobell are watching them in his wellness session,
right?
And they go, and he says like, "Do you think he recognizes her?"
And she says no, but then I even mentioned it at the time.
Yeah.
When they got out of the wellness check,
right?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and she was and she was recounting like when she was in watching Heliar,
right?
And being like that was first it's like
because she was shadowing Heliar in the room, yeah.
And they paint it as like essentially like she was left on longer than she normally is. So apparently she's called down when they need a wellness check.
Right. But why her? Because she's trying to they're trying to see if Mark recognizes it.
One theory, yeah.
And now that Mark's been turned on, like now they have to get rid of him because
or get rid of her, yeah.
Their experiment is fucking gone.
Yeah.
But Mark was able to let out she's alive.
Right, but remember, Cobell is no longer at the party.
No, she's back
dealing with Heliar.
But we haven't seen where she is. All we know is that Mitchkin, whatever his fucking name is,
Milchek.
You know why there's a wrestler called Mission?
No, I get it too, but it's like.
But anyways,
it's a wonderful name because it doesn't fit what the guy looks like at all.
No,
like whether in his like nice little turtleneck sweater
or him sprinting down the hall
or his perfectly coiffed afro.
And I loved how he randomly had a pocket knife.
Yeah.
Like who knew he was carrying around a pocket knife?
Well, I mean, everyone should, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's one of the 4 pillars.
Yeah.
5, 4. I'm not going to do it right.
4.
Thanks. So is he always down there?
It seems like it, yeah.
Right? Like, I haven't seen him out.
Like, he lives there, yeah.
But he seems to not be severed.
Correct, yeah.
Like, he kind of knows what's going on, like Mrs. Cabal or Cabell.
Cabal.
Because that's what I want. I want that to be as a cabal. So those two probably are clearly not severed.
Right.
And then for that hour, you had the 3 others not severed.
Correct.
So they know what's going on.
Yeah.
Or they got a slice of what's going on.
Yeah.
And then Daryl could fucking go up the elevator in 12 minutes and not know anything that happened.
Correct. But he's gonna have one hell of a break room session.
Yeah, he is.
But in that
he might get retired.
Yeah, I mean, even in that though, is like it's fun when you go back and think about it. So like Helly doesn't know what she's going to be entering into. Like it's all on the fucking fly. So she has to go from we got to notify people to she's standing in front of the fucking company.
Right.
Mark is trying to do that, but then Irv, when he emerges, it's a real quick, who the fuck am I?
Exactly.
And then I got to go find Bert.
Yeah.
Like, so.
What did he have his name on? It was like a piece of paper that was that the map?
Yeah, it was a map showing where he is and where. So somehow there is transference between innies and outies. Because he at least knew to...
Right, he was tracking the map.
Yeah, where like everybody lived too.
Exactly, but they made a point for him to like draw, like not, okay,
right.
I'm here. No, it was like very on purpose.
Yeah.
With names written down, Mark S., ya boy.
Yeah.
I can't believe he did that.
And then in terms of a... cinematic thing of him as an innie having to get into a car and learn how to drive.
So, and those are the things you don't think about. Like,
right, yeah.
Does an innie know how to make coffee? These are the things I want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. No, how would they? They just got a fucking vending machine for everything.
Well, like, Mark S. makes the or the manager.
Oh, so you don't learn how to make coffee until you become the manager.
I guess, yeah. But
I bet there's a procedure book.
That's on his checklist, remember?
Yeah, no. Maybe that's why I subconsciously mentioned coffee.
It was like, make coffee, like, look at the Kier poster. Like,
we need a screenshot of that.
I sent you one.
So it's safe. I'm not going to look for it now. I'm not going to look for it. Oh, you did send it to me. Yes. Yes. Oh, right, because he's responsible for changing out the pictures as well.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a while back, but yeah.
I still can't believe he called it a cozy. And he was trying to bribe him with it. They're still in development. I could get them to you.
But where, like, a cozy, though, is like for like a pot handle.
Right. But I assumed it
was...
Not
for like a beer.
Well, maybe that's what he wanted, was a pot. Who the fuck wants a pot handle?
Yeah.
Holder?
No, yeah. So return vending machine tokens to jar.
Yes.
Review employee lunches. Check refrigerator temperature. Acknowledge Kier Egan portrait, verbally or silently. Inspect keyboards for weak keys. Self-assess. Can I lead today?
That's his morning checklist.
That's half of it. The other half is like make coffee, sweep the rug, like with the old
that little
push. Yeah, the old push broom.
That has to be emptied.
Yeah, constantly.
All right, so now we're going to get to how you've got to start next season like immediately where this season ended.
You would think, yeah.
Or do you do like a cold open of like them downstairs being innies again?
Or like a flashback.
Right.
Yeah.
But at any rate, they're going to have to get to the point to where all three of them wake up in the moment of them being, I'm not going to say vulnerable, but in the moment they realize what the fuck's going on. Like, she's telling him this. For some reason, why is his love? Maybe he wasn't loved as a child.
Who? Mark?
No.
Irv? Well, I mean, if he's got a military father.
But, like, his whole... Because, like, everybody... Like, Mark's thing was his sister and then his wife.
Yeah.
Helly's thing was like, oh, my fucking God, what's going on? I'm going to burn this shit to the ground because I know what's really going on. And then his was like, I need to find the love of my life. Right?
I was gonna say, I mean, you could almost sit there and say, like, their innies are, like, the opposites. Right? So, like, Mark... Mark's innie is, very like, hey, what's going on?
Right, like chipper to be there. An extrovert, whereas outside he's an introvert.
And Irv is like, my family is my work.
Militant, his father.
Right.
Just very militant. But he then, I don't know, maybe
hello, kids, what's for dinner?
I'm telling you, it's the first time someone's ever felt for him. That's why he paints all those dark paintings. That's why his dad never loved him. He keeps all that shit around for, he's militant. Helly, I ain't got a fucking clue what this woman's trying to do. Her innie is taken over at this point.
Yeah.
Her innie knows what's right.
I mean...
You got a minute and a half.
Well, I can't go into any specifics. Like, that's the fun part of this show, is that it's not like anything we've seen. So you can't go like, oh, well, this show did this.
No. They're going to wake up and be like, what am I doing? Why am I here?
They could very well, start the show off, start season 2 off, pick up where it is, and just continue the story.
Yeah.
And then, or they could do, like, season 2 could be an entire flashback season. Like, where you get more about Marcus and his wife. You get more about, Helly growing up in the Egan family.
Yeah, and they touched on that in the finale, which I was just completely blown away.
Yeah.
And so was she.
Yeah.
Helly, her went from, I don't want to be here, I'm going to fucking hang myself.
Right.
I'm going to do everything I can to get out of here, only to find out that...
You are part of the multi-billion-dollar...
And the reason... See, it all made sense about why her outie was like, nope, you're staying there. You made this choice.
Right.
Fuck you.
Well, and there's a larger context to that, which we can't see yet.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, the reason behind her outie wanting to... The CEO, a parent, wanting to do with this experiment.
I mean, even when you find out that... The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top-quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Nerlin Nerds podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.